A new era begins now. This is ACC Gymnastics.
Absolutely outstanding.
Look at the height. This is just perfection.
Welcome to ACC Gymnastics.
Welcome to the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. It's a snowy weekend here in West Valley City, Utah. We're at the Maverick Center just outside of Salt Lake for this quad meet. This is session 3 of 3 sessions all weekend long. Take a look at our teams competing in this session presented by Sprouts. We have California, Michigan State, BYU, and NC State in their first presentation on the ACC network. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with my fellow Olympian Kathy Johnson-Clark. This is session 3. We've had a lot of great gymnastics this weekend, but it's also a historic weekend for the ACC conference because this is the first weekend of gymnastics on ACC.
We got to see North Carolina kick it off last night in the first quad meet, and now it's NC State's turn to debut on the ACC network. And I can assure you there is so much buzz and excitement out there on the Gymternet. That's what we call it.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the history of the conference. They sponsored gymnastics actually 40 years ago in 1984 for one season. This is Clemson's inaugural season of gymnastics competition. There are now 4 teams in the ACC: Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, and Pittsburgh. Let's go down to the third member of our broadcast team, Taylor Davis.
Well, Bart, this season has been dubbed a new era in the ACC, and with it comes a lot of opportunity. NC State head coach Kim Landra said this has been years in the making, and our athletes are ready to up the level of their gymnastics. But it's not just beneficial for our program. This contributes to the overall growth of women's collegiate gymnastics, something that motivates every athlete competing here tonight, Bart.
Thank you, Taylor. We got a lot of great athletes here this weekend, world-class gymnastics. And here are the leaders to watch tonight on their respective teams.
For BYU, Kylie Equinto, we're going to see her on 3 events tonight. She's one of the top returners on vault and bars. And Cal's MJ Frazier, the first Cal gymnast to score a 10-0 on the floor exercise. And Michigan State, Delaney Harkness, qualified as an individual on the floor exercise this past year, 2 nationals, and NC State, Chloe Negrete, the top returner on balance beam and floor exercise.
Remind people who have not seen a lot of gymnastics lately, this is called a quad meet. 4 teams are going to be competing on 4 apparatus. The teams rotate in what's called Olympic order, which is vault, bars, beam, and floor. 6 athletes will compete for each team on each event. The lowest score for that team will be dropped on that event. You count the best 5. 2 judges' scores are averaged to compute the individual score on every competition. So we are set to go now with these 4 terrific teams tonight. On vault, we have California. On bars, we will have Michigan State. On beam, BYU starts there. And NC State will open up on the floor. It's an exciting night for these young ladies.
Yes, I'm looking at Cal right now. They are an exceptionally good team. They've made it to nationals twice the last 3 years and surely want another shot at beating their highest finish, which is 7th.
They've been in the top 8. Out of the last 11 years, they've been in the top 8 times. And a historic team high last year as well. Their leadoff vaulter, Madeline Williams. Skyla Schulte will lead off Michigan State on the bars.
Great event for Michigan State. They warmed up really well. Skyla flies through. Oh. Wow. Whoa. Okay, let's look at the vault. Maddie Williams opens with a Yurchenko full. That has a 995 start value, which means that's the maximum score. And those are determined, it's based on the level of difficulty.
Let's explain what's going on here with Skyla Schulte.
So it's hard to say, except she did not have a good grip on that back swing. You could see her hand slip out, so she couldn't connect the second skill. She's starting over because she needs this combination out of the Shaposhnikova into the bail. Really hard to have this as your first routine up. They will have to show their medal coming back. She finished strong, almost overdid that double layout dismount.
Alex Mason on beam for BYU. Some teams like to start on beam, some don't. It's a pressure event for sure. How did you feel about that?
I loved starting on beam. I just really want to go out there and attack this event. You have to embrace that. You have to love that feeling.
That's exactly what Mason is doing. And floor starting now with Alexis Ortega from NC State in their first rotation.
Every floor routine for NC State will start with that wolf howl. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what will. Now she needs to tumble like she's running away from the wolf. A lot of power, a lot of speed. Opens with a 1.5 twist.
Ortega, the fifth-year grad student, has really persevered to be one of the greats on this team.
I like what I'm seeing here on balance beam. Very solid, very confident. Leadoff performer for BYU. Finishes strong with a double twist and a great landing.
Great start for the Cougars over there on a very nerve-wracking event, the balance beam.
Back 1.5 twist to a front layout. That's a requirement on the floor exercise to perform a combination pass with 2 saltos or 2 flips in it that are different. The judges look for artistry in the floor exercise, which is good posture, fluid arms and movement.
Casey Brown on vault for Cal.
Another Yurchenko fall,
Right.
and look at that landing. Oh no, a fall on floor exercise. That's a 0.5 of a point deduction for the fall. Oh, what a shame. So just lacked a little bit of energy to complete that second somersault, a more difficult front with a full twist.
Olivia Zarmani set to go on bars.
So Michigan State needs to do a reset right here. They need 5 good scores, so they are all in a must-hit situation. Look at that beautiful handstand and a nice packed salto down to the low bar.
Sophia Dudley on beam for BYU after Alex Mason led them off with an outstanding 9-8.
Oh, that was a nifty in-bar Ginger there on the uneven bars. That release move on the high bar, but between the bars, very difficult. Oh, good position on the leap, but unfortunately off center, and she had to break that connection. Notice she added 2 leaps after the balance break to get that special connection that she needs of 2 dance series.
A chance to remind people who are new to gymnastics what the judges are specifically looking for in this event.
Every event has special requirements for that event. One of them is an acro series. You have to do a full turn on 1 foot, which we've already seen her do. And then a leap series. You have to connect 2 leaps. Oh, a little off center on that dismount. So most of the gymnasts have backups. If they miss a connection, they know what they need to do to either repeat it or add another element to get that credit.
Maddie Hall, first up. Alex Ortega, an 8.95. in that leadoff spot. She fell, unfortunately, and once again, this is a chance to remind fans that are new to gymnastics, they're going to compete 6 athletes and just count the best 5 out of 6 scores to their team total. Here's Kyan Mayhew.
The freshman with a big ball.
Oh!
Stuck landing.
That was nice.
Big 1.5 twist. That's a 10-0 start value, so this should be a big number. Yes, that's a bear head. You get that. You get it if you stick your landing. So I don't know if I want to stick my no. It's awesome.
The Cal Bears.
Rudy, 1.5 twist. Difficult turn here, a double L turn. She has to, well, single L actually. You have to hold that leg up parallel to the floor.
Welcome to the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad in West Valley City, Utah. We're at the Maverick Center just outside of Salt Lake for this inaugural event featuring 12 teams over the weekend, and there are 4 in session 3 tonight in a quad meet format. Cal, Michigan State, BYU, and NC State. Now here's how it works. 4 teams competing on 4 different apparatus. Teams rotate in Olympic order. 6 gymnasts on each apparatus for each team. You count just the best 5 scores out of those 6 towards the team total. Let's catch you up on what you have missed so far. Michigan State started with one of their stars, Skylar Schulte, on bars, and her hand slipped and was unable to get a big score. She had a 9-2 because of that fall, which is a half a point deduction. And Alexis Ortega opened up for NC State on one of their best events, the floor, but under-rotated that skill and had to sit down only for an 8.95. Maddie Hall followed up with a 9.775. Cal doing a really nice job here in the first rotation with the biggest score of the night so far. Kyan Mayhew, 9.95, and well-deserved. So here we are in the first of 4 rotations. We're going to MJ Frazier. We talk about stars, boy. She lights up the room for Cal, and she's coming after a 9.95. She's a spectacular, balanced, all-around gymnast, as Krista Zultovic gets ready to take to the floor for NC State.
Myla Zahn before her set her up beautifully for this very difficult double twisting vault. It's a Yurchenko vault, a round-off entry, right onto the board, off the table with 2 twists in laid-out position. Very, very difficult. The most difficult vault you'll see in NCAA gymnastics. Krista Zultovic here on floor exercise for NC State. They started off with a fall, so now they're in the position where all 5 remaining gymnasts must hit so they can drop that low score with the fall. Last pass, a very nice high tuck, double back, a little opened up just a little too soon, so her chest was forward.
Back over to Beam for BYU. Their 2 best scores there so far, 9.85 and 9.825. This is Mina Margraf.
She has lovely hands and arms, a nice fluidity to her balance beam work. Very solid on that combination. She connected a leap into a standing back tuck. To a front toss. Very solid.
Sage Kellerman will be up on bars for Michigan State. Remember, they have 6 athletes. You count the best 5 scores. They have already a 9-2 that they hope to replace to get a good team score.
Big straddle Jaeger on the high bar. The transition down to low, that's called a bail to handstand.
See the head coach Mike Rowe standing in on the bars. The coaches are allowed to stand in on bars for safety reasons. That's the only event they're allowed to spot.
Wow, 2 great landings side by side. Nice to see the all-important stuck landing. It is the most obvious deduction in women's gymnastics.
MJ Frazier had a 9-9. Maya Lausanne seems pretty relaxed before she goes here. They have really good scores. 2 scores of 9-9 and 9-9-5 for Cal, which is not normally their best event.
This is a gorgeous, absolutely breathtaking Yurchenko 1.5 twist with a perfectly stuck landing, and I thought I had missed her vault. I thought she went when we were transitioning, and boy, I'm glad we didn't miss it.
Ashley Knight for NC State on floor.
Really nice leap combination.
Brinley Anderson on beam for BYU after Margraf scored 9-7-2-5.
Very solid on the acro series. Back handspring layout, step up.
Brinley, the freshman from Orem, Utah. Placed high in the junior nationals a couple of years ago. A huge team, I think 26 athletes on the BYU team, one of the biggest in college competition.
Final pass, a punch, Rudy, into a layout step out, slight bent knee on that last skill. Few little things to clean up, but so exciting to see the effort put into these performances and really elevating the level of gymnastics. Nice stick on the gainer full off the side.
Tell you what's awesome is we get to see a lot of the top teams week in and week out in SEC Network, ESPN family of networks, but now with the ACC network, we're going to get to see a lot more of other teams and they're all pretty darn spectacular. It's great to give them a showcase on this brand new network. I mean, they have a whole slate of shows coming up this season on ACCN.
Nikki Smith for Michigan State here on bars. Beautiful swing, excellent form.
Ella Cesario on vault, the anchor vaulter, and another,
almost stick, but she was a little under rotated, so she had to step forward. Here's the dismount for Nikki Smith. Double layout, high flying, and a stuck landing.
By the way, for California, as they celebrate over there, Maya Lausanne had a 9-9-7-5. 3 scores, 9-9 or better. Cal already has the top vault score in the nation this year, and that was even before Cesario went. So Cal, known for their superb work on beam and bars, delivers in this first rotation. You can see why they came into this season ranked 7th in the nation in the preseason poll. Elise Rollins, the anchor competitor on beam for BYU.
Elise is such a consistent performer on this event. So calm, so composed, shows beautiful shapes in those leaps. The judges must see a full 180-degree split.
I always hate to say things like this because you might jinx them, but last year she scored 9-9 or more 9 times on beam.
Front aerial to back handspring layout step up, and she shows you her brilliance right there. She was ever so slightly off, made the perfect minor adjustment.
Emily Shepard on floor for NC State after Ashley Knight at a 9.75.
A beautiful floor worker. Nice posture and polish. Here's the dismount on beam, back handspring, gainer full off the side. Double pike on the right on the floor exercise.
Emily Shepard slated to compete in the all-around tonight. Last year was really their MVP in terms of scoring contributions. She's a fifth-year student athlete.
This middle pass will be her combination pass. 2 saltos in this. Punch front layout to a front with a full. Wow, good save.
Yeah.
They will deduct for the under rotation and the large step back. In an artistic sport that is judged, it is all about camouflaging. If there's a slight error or a little flaw, if you move through it, recover quickly, that's ideal. Nice job on the tuck double back. Love the posture and the hands, really nice.
Next up on bars for Michigan.
Our next gymnastics meet right here on ACCN and the ESPN app is next Sunday afternoon when Pittsburgh squares off against Clemson at Little John Coliseum. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern. Delaney Harkness will be the final competitor for Michigan State on the bars. 9.925 was the score for Nikki Smith, their highest there. Remember, they're trying to replace the 9.2 of Skylar Schulte. They need a good score right here and right now.
Open with a toe handstand into a ginger. That's named after a German gymnast, a friend of ours actually, Bart Connor. We know him from back in the day. He first did the skill on the men's high bar. Sets up for the dismount, nice big long swing to get the amplitude necessary to do 2 flips, 1 twist. Well done.
I think Mike Rowe will be happy with that first rotation, especially because they got off to a little bit of a hiccup on that first routine, but came through with 5 solid performances, including a 9.925 from Nikki Smith, plus whatever Delaney Harkness will receive. Emily Shepard, after that little stumble on the floor, ended up with a 9.775. And this is another one of their MVPs from last year. Look at her average last season, 9.925 on the floor. This is Chloe Negrete.
She'll open the routine with a pike double back. There's that wolf howl. Very dramatic music to build up to the power that's behind the tumbling. Nice lift, nice open pike position, good control landing.
Beautiful technique.
Nice position in the air, a little bit flat-footed going into it, those steps leading into the leap. Up with a full to a front layout. Beautiful, right into that PK arabesque. Double tuck.
Beautiful.
Well done. Very strong routine, really good musicality.
expecting a good score for Chloe Negrete. Remember, they're trying to replace the 8.95 after Ortega slipped in that first routine. So they had a hiccup in that first rotation, but 5 very competent routines after that. Highlight of that rotation was California on the vault. This 49.525, including these vaults, a school record and the #1 score in the nation so far this year.
Oh, wow.
And we're talking great teams, Oklahoma, LSU, I mean world-class vaulting teams. And Cal is with their happy head coach now, Justin Howell.
Happy indeed. Thanks, Bart. Coach, a school record for you guys, a 49.525 on vault. What kind of fight did your team show in rotation 1?
You know, they showed what we see in practice. And so it's not a surprise, but wow. I mean, like, super excited for them. Kyan Mayhew, freshman debut, drills a Yurchenko 1.5, stuck cold. Their landings were on fire. You know, we talk about we don't try to be perfect. We try to do gymnastics the right way, and the landings will be there, and they did that today. So thrilled for them.
I think wow is the appropriate response. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Bart.
Cal off to a great start here. The one year that the ACC recognized women's gymnastics, NC State won the title. That was back in 1984. Now, 40 years later, they're here back to defend that title. We're back here in West Valley City, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake. NC State will move to vault in the next rotation. Unfortunately, not their best effort on floor, only a 49, and they are 4th out of 4 teams currently. But we talked to them about how exciting it is to be in the ACC.
So many sports teams at NC State that just compete at a premier level, and we see them compete for that ACC championship every year. And now we get that opportunity to go out and represent the ACC conference and compete for that championship as well. So I think it's something truly special.
I think college gymnastics is already becoming more well known, but the fact that we can slap an ACC on it, it really just sets us apart in a different way now.
I feel like since the rest of our school is an ACC school, we get to represent it in its entirety, and that feels really great. We have the opportunity to win those ACC titles just like everyone else.
So NC State did not have their best effort on the floor. Last year they set a school record, 49.625. See if they can recover in this next rotation. But there is an enormous amount of excitement about this new conference alignment. Clemson, inaugural year, had their first meet this weekend. 8,018 people in Littlejohn Coliseum, Kathy. How about that?
Build it and they will come.
Oh my goodness, that's great. With those 4 teams in their own conference now, exciting things coming for the ACC in gymnastics. All right, we'll come back to Utah for the second of 4 rotations right after this. Cal has the lead with a record score. Squares off against BC at noon Eastern. Then, number 15 Louisville hosts Wake Forest. And the afternoon is capped off by Virginia and number 20 North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Women's hoops every Sunday right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Here is our meet summary after the first of 4 rotations. As we mentioned, Cal, a school record on vault, 49.525, just under a 9.9 average. The top score in the country so far this year, but we're just in the second week of the season. But that's still pretty darn great because Cal is not necessarily known for their vaulting.
And guess what? They're headed to their best event on the uneven bars,
oh, man,
where they can shine like unbelievable. So they are in a great position.
Meg Adler will be first up on vault for NC State on the left of your screen, and for California, Andy Lee will lead off the California Bears on the bars on the right side of your screen.
Most of NC State does this same vault, a Yurchenko full, very well done. I don't think she needed to pipe down quite as much. They'll take a little deduction for that pipe down. Beautiful blind check. Look at that straddle, Jaeger. That was unbelievable amplitude. It's the form and execution and technique that they are so superb. Very nice landing. You could tell they are excited. They're going to fight to stick every landing.
Gianna Khalifi now for Michigan State, leading them off on the beam.
And I know she is feeling nerves. She has not had a good warm-up. And this is a test of your nerves and determination to put that behind you. It's on this pass. It's a triple series, a very difficult series where you connect 3 elements, 2 back handspins to a layout step out, and look at that. There it is.
Wow.
That shows the toughness, the mental toughness of these athletes.
David Jorgensen for BYU on the floor at the same time. We mentioned Michigan State had a bit of a hiccup in that first rotation, but they worked their way back up into second place. They're only 0.2 of a point behind the leaders, California, in this second rotation.
First pass on floor was a pike double back. A little off on the shapes in those leaps. You really want to be very crisp in those positions. Cartwheel to a gainer full dismount off beam. What a fine job she did overcoming those nerves.
Yeah, that's big, huh? And
that's
what
when
an
you trust your
role.
training.
Right.
You trust it and you go aggressively.
Jorgensen, the freshman from Gilbert, Arizona, especially known for her work on the bars. And she came out of her junior development program.
Back 1.5 to a front layout. That front layout should have been higher.
Alexis Ortega on vault now, NC State.
Nice. Really, really good comeback for her. She was a little bit short on the landing on the floor exercises, came back strong on the vault. That's team gymnastics.
Right.
Next up on bars, next up on beam for Michigan State.
Let's take a look at some of the superb work on the beam. Our tech tools presented by AAI.
As I said, one of the requirements is to show a full 180-degree split in these leaps. Her back leg was a little bit low, difficult tuck jump with a full twist there.
Maya Lozan after Andy Lee had a 9.825 in a leadoff spot.
And just as she's shown her clean execution and form on the vault, it's here as well. She was a little bit off kilter on that half pirouette on low bar. Beautiful final handstand. Sets up the dismount, which is a full twisting double back. Just a slight little shuffle of maybe just 1 foot there on that landing.
Delaney Harkness on beam for Michigan State. Khalifi, a 9.85 in that leadoff spot in a clutch situation. Good start for Michigan State here. Much better than their start on bars in the first rotation.
Two switch leaps in a row. Difficult combination, fulfills that requirement. Good side aerial. She took an extra step back to keep her balance.
Olivia Mayton now for BYU after Jorgensen led them off with a 9.75.
Opens with a difficult E element. That's a front double twist on floor exercise. Strong finish by Delaney Harkness on beam. Combination, back 1.5 to a front layout. Well controlled. Switch ring. Needs a little bit more bend in that back knee on that first leap.
Krista Zoltovich on vault for NC State.
A lot of power coming down the runway. Step forward, that will be a deduction, and it was a little low. You want them to finish above the level of the table when they finish that layout with the full, and then she had to pipe down.
First two scores for NC State on vault have been 9-8, so not a bad start there. Olivia Mayturn has had 2 surgeries on her knees and even hyperextended one of her knees last year, and great to see her contributing in the lineup on floor. Was really stressful on the knees for sure. Michaela Tucker now, a freshman from Fishers, Indiana. She's 5 feet 10 inches tall, Kathy.
And uses every inch to impress. She is so awesome to watch, both on balance beam and the uneven bars.
Delaney Harkness before her, a 9.75. Back also on the bars, Ella Cesario.
I was just going to mention, when you are that tall, your center of gravity is much higher off the beam. That can make it more challenging. She lost her balance and bent at the waist. That is a more significant deduction. There's a cat leap to a side aerial. Here's a dismount on bars. Wow, that's a beautiful double layout. Cal just continuing to show their expertise on that event.
I mentioned Michaela Tucker being 5'10", and her center of gravity, it's over a foot higher than Simone Biles' center of gravity on the beam because of her length at 5 feet 10.
But it is lovely, these long legs and into the gainer full. She could be so elegant on this event.
Next up on ball for NC State, Ashley Knott.
Sophia Dudley, Olivia Mayturn before her at 9.8.
Sophia's the #1 returner for BYU on this event. She does 2 double backs in this routine. The first one piped.
Ashley Knight on vault for NC State.
Big front pike half.
Wow.
That was beautiful. The hop on the landing, but nice flight off the table. Beautiful extension on that first leap, really showed that straddle position. Punch pull to front layout.
Mounting the beam for Michigan State after Michaela Tucker, 9.575.
She actually qualified to the Nationals a couple of years ago on this event, and you will see why her leaps are spectacular. We talk about the center of gravity. They rise so high on these leaps. Look at this switch half. Some gymnasts play it safe on those leaps, and she goes all out. Really shows off her nice flexibility. acrobatic series here. Handspring to layout, step out, so solid.
Gabby Perea on bars for Cal so far. 3 scores, 9.825 to 9.875 range.
Nice toe handstand to a pack salto down to the low bar. Nice job by Skyla on beam. That's called a Van Leeuwen, the transition from the low to high with a half turn. Very difficult release transition and a double layout, elegant in the air. She had to scoot back, so they'll take a little deduction on the landing, but boy, they are really pretty on this event.
You mentioned Van Leeuwen. Many skills in gymnastics are named from the first gymnast who competed them successfully in world or Olympic competition. That's just a tradition, so there's a lingo in our sport that is quite unique.
Oh, yes, it is. And it's such an honor to have a skill named after her.
Emily Shepard now on vault, NC State.
Yurchenko full, pretty good control on that landing. She hopped to the side.
You mentioned Yurchenko full. Yurchenko was Natalia Yurchenko, the former Soviet gymnast from many years ago, the first to dare to do that crazy vault going back over the vault table.
And if you remember her telling that story when the coach first told her his idea, and they all, oh, they laughed. They thought, he's crazy.
Thinking outside the box right there.
Open with a front 1.5 twist.
Bailey Garcia up on beam now for Michigan State.
Mounts a good
Showed
beam.
he had a 9.825.
She mounts a good beam with a beautiful straddle split mount, showing off that flexibility. There are so many facets in this incredible sport that you must master. The flexibility, the power, the strength, endurance, and the daring. Oh, and even the grit when you have to fight to save a fall. Yes, it's a big deduction, but it's better than falling off the balance beam, which is 5/10 off. Notice how she kept those skills moving. You must continue to move the arms to get the credit for that connection. Final pass here, back 1.5 to a front layout. Strong routine on floor. Setting up the dismount, back handspring, swing through to the gainer full. Very elegant routine, just that one major break.
Let's check what happened on this balance break.
So she brought the second leg down too quickly, so her chest was still done. Anytime you do that, it's very difficult to press down into the beam and aggressively attack that finished position.
MJ Frazier had to go now on bars for California. Perea had a 9.9, and Frazier and Williams are equally impressive, if not more.
Back-to-back releases, Maloney to the high bar and back with a pack right down to the low bar.
Chloe Negrete on vault for NC State.
This is a nice clean vault in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And near perfection on that landing.
And again, MJ Frazier as well. You know, you really talked about clean execution. I mean, that's kind of the key in college gymnastics. The difficulty requirements aren't quite the same at the world and the Olympic level, so it really comes down to execution, doesn't it?
So you read my mind. Another difference between elite and NCAA, and I will tell you, in the NCAA, they land better, more consistently with these stuck landings. Yes, sometimes the skills are easier, but the drills these athletes do.
Take a look at the tech tools presented by AAI.
4 feet off the table with that center of gravity, and just the tiniest of scoots back, but 7 feet away from the table, good distance.
And if her hips are 4 feet over the table, which is 4 feet off the ground, I mean, her head is more than 10, 11 feet in the air, which is over a basketball backboard for those who have a reference with that sport. Sydney Benson, the 5th competitor for BYU on floor. De Quinto had a 9.85.
Gabby Stevens on beam. What a beautiful element she just performed. A front aerial to 2 feet. Takes a lot of power and daring. Double back. Ooh, came close to going out of bounds, but I think she kept it in.
Athletes are allowed to use that additional 4-inch mat as long as they put tape marks on the mat to indicate the lines of being in or out of bounds.
Big balance check on beam on the back handspring layout step out. Anytime the athlete bends over at the waist, it is a more significant deduction. And the judges can take anywhere from a half a tenth of a point to 3/10 for a big bobble and 4/10 if you bend all the way over at the waist to save a fall. Round off one, double twist. Oh, look at those landings. Very impressed.
They'll get a good score for that one. The other scores there have been, let's say, a little better than average, but not lights out for Michigan State, who is currently in second place coming in to this second rotation. Cal has the lead.
A little bit of chest down on that final pass, but very difficult to do a pike double back at the end of the routine.
Here's next Saturday's basketball triple. Madeline Williams coming up after a 9.925 for MJ Frazier. Wow, this is Cal's shine.
Signature event. It is really spectacular for them. Their tight form, those legs are glued together. The toes stay pointed throughout the entire skill. Here's the dismount double layout. Lovely. Just a slight scoot back. And this new landing rule where they have to really show that finished position after the landing, whether they hop, step, or otherwise, hold arms up for 1 full second.
That's kind of the point of that rule, is to eliminate what is sort of known as the college stick, because a lot of these athletes are so excited when they're done, they just keep bouncing all the way to the corral.
Yeah.
Let's go down to Taylor Davis.
Guys, there's been a lot of collaboration and communication down here on the floor for this BYU team. Rather than having team captains, they actually have captains for each event that the coaching staff has decided on. The idea with such a big team, still give them the opportunity to take ownership and create a culture of dependability, something that's been really evident for me down here.
Their head coach, of course, is Guard Young, the former NCAA and Olympic standout, Olympic medalist. Oh, nice.
Nice front double twist. That's that E-level skill, the most difficult in college gymnastics.
In a Margraf, you can see the team scores there. They have not broken into the 9.9s yet.
Switch ring. That ring leap is so difficult, and the athlete really needs to get the foot almost to the very top of their head. You try that position, Bart.
Oh, thanks.
This is really fun choreography. She needs to flesh it out a little bit, just a little bigger with the movement. Really commit. Oh, wow, she pulled that out. Kind of mistimed the punch in between the two somersaults. And what talent. Just really pulled that last one out. Nice to see. So we talk about the very difficult passes. They're rated A, B, C, D, and E. This is an E, a front somersault with a double twist. Back 1.5 twist. Oh, just magic, because she mistimed that punch.
All right, that is the final competitor. Here we're at the halfway point of this competition. Michigan State has had a rise to top 10 Exciting to follow their progress. We'll talk about their program when we come back. And welcome back to the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. We're at the halfway point in this competition. Cal has the lead, and NC State, BYU, and Michigan State all just 5/100ths of a point chasing Cal. So we have a good one here this afternoon. Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. And Kathy, we've been highlighting these teams for a long time, but one of the most fun stories has been following Michigan State's rise.
Yeah.
2 years ago, they were 56 in the country and they went all the way up to 9th. What's happening there?
Oh, unbelievable. We haven't seen their best here yet, but do not count them out. This is a hot team. People are excited about the way they perform, their level of difficulty, their technique. Everything has just been amplified and elevated. It's been awesome.
It's just a joy to follow them. And they're led by several veterans, including Delaney Harkness, Skyla Schulte, and Gabby Stephen.
These are all terrific athletes, great leaders on and off the floor, and there's so much enthusiasm and energy from their entire team, but the leadership is so important.
Delaney Harkness, first team all Big Ten as Michigan State moves to the floor in the third of 4 rotations here in Utah. And welcome back to Utah, the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. Cal has the lead after the second of 2 rotations. The other team's very tightly close. BYU led by several veterans, just as the other teams.
And it's Alvarado, their bar specialist. She is their top returner. Sydney Benson, terrific on vault. And Alex Mason, will see her lead off on the uneven bars.
Sophomore Kylie Equinto from Orem, Utah. Last season, she was the conference freshman of the year.
Congratulations, and we have a winner in the stick band.
BYU will be on vault in this third rotation. NC State goes to the bars. California, after that superb bar rotation, and they are having quite a meet today. They're just under the 198 pace, which is a 9.9 average. Michigan State will be on the floor.
They are equally good on balance beams, so I'm really excited to see if they can improve from last week. They were a little wobbly, but of course that was their first meet of the season.
No one has scored 198 so far this year in the NCAA. Are we going to see it tonight from the California Bears? Vault starts with BYU. Ava Jorgensen will get their leadoff spot. Let's talk a little bit about the lineups in this case. There's about 20 athletes. I think BYU has 26 athletes. So there's day-to-day competition just to make the top 6, to make the lineup to compete.
We are seeing more and more depth in these lineups, but as we've all said, it is not depth unless you use it and really put them in the competition.
Haley Adamates, NC State leading them off on the bars.
Caught that Pat Salter with a little bit of bent arms there. You really want to see straight arms throughout the entire uneven bar routine. Nice Stalder, very difficult skill, into a tuck double flyaway. Good start for NC State.
Ava Jorgensen waiting for the green flag from the judges to start her competition. This is a little bit of a different format for collegiate gymnastics. There are 4 events, but basically we're only seeing 2 at a time.
So this is a unique vault. Watch the round off on, full twist onto the table, into a back pike. That also has a 10-0 start value. You don't see this vault as often.
Elbow fake. on floor for Michigan State.
Opens with a front double twist, very difficult and very well done. Michigan State really needs to turn up the volume here, step up on this event.
Andy Lee leading off California, who is the lead in the team competition on beam. They're on pace for a terrific score.
Difficult acro combination, front aerial to back layout step out. Notice the very minor correction. She covered it so beautifully with elegant arms, but strong arms. Even though the gymnast moves very fluidly, the strength that it takes to do beam, the core strength. You're constantly pushing down into the beam through your feet. Switch leap, the split jump. Gainer full off the end. We always love that dismount part. It's so fun. Rudy, nice laid out position. Teammates loved it. They're off to a good start.
Next up on ball for BYU, Sophie Dudley. Next up on bars for NC State, Whitney Childs.
Sophia Dudley will vault now for BYU. Ava Jorgensen, her leadoff performance, got them a 9-8.
Full twisting Yurchenko. Little angle in the shoulders, still got a decent block and height off the table.
Kind of a pogo stick landing, wasn't it? You know, they're coming down from 10 feet in the air. Just not moving is harder than most people imagine.
Pretty mind-boggling when you think about a stuck landing, especially on vault. So much speed and power down the runway, and you've got to then hone it into just that, you know, like a dart.
How many sports do you go full blast and then have to stop dead on? Not many.
I can't think of one. Okay, hitting a round object with a stick in baseball, that's probably pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're right. Peyton Childs now. She'll be on bars for NC State. Kaylee Adamates had a 9-6 to lead them off. Maddie Williams on beam for California. Andy Lee's score was a 9.825.
His first skill on the uneven bars. It's called a cow hop. She hops her grip in that handstand position, then goes into the straddle Jaeger. Boy, she was out on those fingertips. Good thing she has long fingers and good grips on. Handspring layout, step out on the beam, and a tuck double flyaway off the uneven bars. NC State's having a really good meet, competing well. Maddie Williams shining on the balance beam. They are so confident, so artistic and fluid. Sets up the dismount, back handspring. Oh no, little soft knees and not enough height or rotation. She had to pike that down. So we'll get a landing deduction.
Leadoff competitor, Elle Beaufait, had a 9.9 career high, and that brings up Nia Smith for Michigan State.
I believe she's upgraded this first pass for full twisting double back. Let's see. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. Melissa Earl for BYU set to go on ball.
Oh, Yurchenko half twist. 995 start value for that vault. We haven't seen one of those in a while. talked about the altitude here in Utah, and I can kind of see it in their face. The last tumbling pass, oxygen probably feels pretty thin, but notice how it didn't affect the tumbling at all. But it could sure get in your head.
One of the best events for Michigan State, along with bars. Top 10 in the country last year there. Let's go down to Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, a mantra of this Cal Gymnastics program has been one day better since 2012. Associate head coach Elizabeth Crandall-Howe actually is wearing a necklace that says one day better. She says the hope is that someone sees the necklace, asks the gymnasts about it, and then the message of one day better is passed on. The necklace is now the senior gift and one of the many traditions that this long-standing program has added to their list.
Senior gift? I never got a senior gift. Did you? That's cool.
A great message, not just for gymnastics, but life.
No kidding. Maddie Hall on the bars for NC State. Ella Cesario on beam for Cal.
Another theme for many teams is half-tenth better, and it's kind of the same thing, just those improvements by small increments. And in a sport where literally 25 thousandths of a point can make the difference. Oh, save, good save, no fall there, but a major break. All of these top teams know they will need to be near perfect to win, well, to qualify first to national championships, to even vie for that title. Gymnastics has gotten that good in the NCAA. Round off 1.5 twist, step on the landing.
Michaela Tucker. After Nia Smith got a 9.85.
Beauty. Oh, those long legs on that gainer
And I don't know how
layup.
she stayed in bounds. Well done. If she goes out of bounds, it's 1/10 of a point to go over that line.
Switch side to Copa. That's a straddle jump with a full turn in the air.
Kylie Iquinto on vault for BYU after a 9.75 for Melissa Earl.
Chenko full, much more height on that vault. Good distance. The judges really look for a nice combination of both height and distance. A front double twist, an E element at the end of the routine.
That's tough.
Easy as can be. That's the way she made it look there at the end.
Michigan State off to a great start here with two scores of 9.9 and 9.85.
Look at those long legs. And she brought that second leg down close to the first one just to be sure.
MJ Frazier will be next. California's last two scores are 9.625, 9.725. So have the lead by 0.8 of a point coming into this rotation, but they need hit routines here to not squander it and stay on that 198 pace. Katie Harper for NC State on bars.
Open with a clear hip into a dinger. Beautiful flexibility shown on balance beam by MJ Frazier. It's funny, MJ looks so much like her sister, Rosetta Frazier, who competes for UCLA. They both have very dynamic performances, but very different personalities. I spoke to Liz Crandall, the head coach at Cal.
Cal uses 4 all-arounders and 2 other athletes do 3 events each. So 22 of their 24 scores come from just 6 athletes.
Those were beautiful leaps, very difficult, showed off the full split and the ring position.
Delaney Harkness. Oh, wow.
Fantastic beam routine. Absolutely marvelous.
Just what Cal needs to stay on pace for that 198 score.
Delaney opened with a full twisted double back. Really was very quick into that lunge. Delaney qualified as an individual to the Nationals on this event.
Sydney Benson will be the next vaulter for BYU. Only one score of 9.8. All the others have been in the 9.7 range for BYU on vault.
Nice, open out of that full twist. Really kept those hips nice and flat and open. No pike down. Front through the double back.
Oh.
Difficult combination pass.
Well, you called it, Kathy. That beam routine for MJ Frazier was spectacular. A well-deserved perfect 10.
How exciting. She had a 10 on floor, the first for Cal, and now a 10-0 on balance beam. What a thrill.
And she holds the school all-around record of 39.75. Last week, she had only a 9.6 on beam, but this year, she delivers big. Alex Ortega next up on bars. NC State has yet to break into the 9.8s or better on this event.
I'm glad we got a quick peek of this mount sequence of Milazan on beam. She is so exquisite and original on this event. Shows off her back flexibility, extension posture. Great job by Alexis Ortega on bars. Triple series, two back handspins to lay out,
Wow,
step out, and
finesse. She had a breakout year last year, top 10 in the country on all 4 events. That just shows you her completeness as a gymnast.
she won the all-around last weekend in their opening meet. And she just has no weakness on any event.
By the way, MJ Frazier's 10 is the second 10 ever for Cal in the history of the program. Maya Lazan did it last year.
Difficult dismount, double twist, so beautifully done. That is
Could we see back-to-back 10s?
Wow.
Oh my, that was beautiful.
Extraordinary.
And Nikki Smith on the floor for Michigan State.
You can't get better than this.
This is awesome.
Nikki just flips all the switches. Charm, sass, savvy.
Madison Racely Patton, the anchor vaulter for BYU.
Oh, nifty vault. Another round of full-on and great landing there. And I just can't take my eyes off this performance. She just lights up the floor. Wow.
She kicked out of that double
I'll tell you
back.
what, this routine was as bright and sparkly as that leotard. That was so fun.
Few
So
people
entertaining.
have the power and the height at the end of the routine when you're exhausted to kick out of that double back.
And
Wow.
she's smiling through it as if no big deal.
I got this. Told you, Michigan State's fun to watch. Oh, that's great. There is Mike Rowe, who's the reigning Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. Okay, the stage is set now for the anchor competitor for California on beam. Maya Lozon had a 9.925. As Emily Shepard anchors bars for NC State.
Difficult double wolf turn. Oh, did a single. Nice handstand by Emily Shepard and a gorgeous packed salto. Nice and floaty. Oh, mistake there. Should have pirouetted on the first try. Front toss right into a back tuck. Difficult combination on the balance beam. Dismount on bars, full twisting double back. And I believe that was a stuck landing. The coach is standing right in the way, so I couldn't see the feet. But looked like it was well done.
Correa is a senior from Geneva, Illinois, 3-time U.S. national team member.
Lost her toe point just a little bit on that back leg on the first leap. Side somersault into a
That's
tuck
so
1.5.
cool.
I want a redo of that. That's really
that's so
cool dismount. So difficult, so unique.
Actually, that's great coaching because if you're a little off, just chuck the full off the back. That is great off the side. Wow. Skylar Schulte, you see, she averaged over a 9.9 last year. And Nikki Smith before her had a 9.9.
Ooh, just stayed in bounds.
Really impressive scores for Michigan State, as you can see on the floor. 2 9.9s, no score lower than 9.85.
Love their comfort and confidence in the choreography. You have to commit. Showing off those positions in the air. Front tuck. Super high double back. That's a controlled landing. Oh, fantastic. They are so much fun to watch on floor. They light up the arena. They show off every skill, every piece of the choreography.
Okay, that finishes up the third of 4 rotations. We had a perfect 10 here tonight on the ACC Network. MJ Frazier, stunning on beam.
What a thrill. If you have ever worked the balance beam, you dream of just nailing your routine. One skill after the other, showing the difficulty, the power, the finesse, the marvel that is gymnastics, and then to be rewarded with a 10, well, that's chef's kiss.
Liz Crandall appreciates that effort. She's so proud of their work on the beam. This is a rather small team and a very tight-knit group. Speaking of fun groups to watch, Michigan State's coach Mike Rowe is with Taylor Davis.
Took the words out of my mouth, Bart. A fun group to watch on floor indeed. Coach, after some struggles on beam, your team bounced back and showcased that personality on floor. What have you learned about your group tonight?
That they can do that. They did it last week at the Super 16 too. We started off a little weak and we just built straight through and finished really strong on bars. So, and we're changing some people in and out of lineups because it's so early and everything, but some of the experience that, you know, we've had to trade out to give some of these youngsters some time to prove themselves. We're feeling great about where we are right now, and especially what's going on today.
Amazing. One more to close it out. Best of luck.
Oh yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Michigan State, after that rotation, has moved from 4th into 2nd place. But the highlight, no question, MJ Frazier's perfect 10. Let's talk about the good news Bears when we come back. Back in Utah at the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad, Cal continues to lead by 0.75, 3/4 of 1 full point over Michigan State, who went from 4th to 2nd in that rotation. Cal has had historic success under the husband-wife team of Justin Howell and Elizabeth Crandall Howell. Take a look at the success. They were 40th or lower until they arrived. And then the top 20 finish every year since 2014, and 5 of the last 8 seasons, top 10. And they're really sort of coaches, right? They are in the gym every day, polishing and perfecting gymnastics. It doesn't hurt to have talent of these veterans.
The talent has always been there, and we were so excited last year when they got to nationals, but they were a young team. The experience that they gained and the inspiration from that, because they want to get back there. They know they are better, and they are showing it tonight.
MJ Frazier, regionals last year, had a 39.75 in the all-around, a school record.
What an exciting regional. When you come up with such clutch performances, stuck landings, big, beautiful gymnastics, and a program record at the regionals, 39.75. That's a beast of an all-around score.
And that makes her our Sprouts featured athlete of the competition. Look at the NQS, the national qualifying scores on floor and bars, 9.9 or better. And she's just a freshman last year, and she scored a perfect 10 tonight. We are having a great one here in Utah. So when we come back, we'll be to the 4th and final rotation. Cal has had the lead so far since the start. Welcome back to Utah and the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. We are set for the 4th and final rotation here in this exciting weekend of gymnastics. Certainly one of the most anticipated competitions of the year happened earlier this afternoon. Oklahoma won that one, but it's been all Cal tonight, leading wire to wire so far. And of course, the second beam in Cal history from MJ Frazier, a particular highlight. So here we are now set for the 4th and final rotation. Michigan State will be on the vault. That is Nia Smith. BYU will be on the bars with Alex Mason.
Strong start for Michigan State. Yurchenko full. Maloney up to the high bar, down to the pack salto, leg separation. You really want to see those legs glued together. One interesting note, the judges sit right on the side. They can really see the vertical handstand position. So if they're short, they'll deduct. Of course, they'll see that little hop back. Strong routine, just a couple little deductions in there.
On beam for NC State in this rotation, Meg Adler.
We talk about this leadoff position often, particularly on the balance beam. So important to be a confident, calm routine.
Jordan Kane will lead off for California Bears. On floor, they have the lead.
This pass on floor is a very difficult one. It's a combination pass. She's going to twist both elements. Punch front with a full, punch Rudy. So that's a total of 2.5 twists right there. A single on the first one and a 1.5 on the second. Loop series on being very solid. Dismount gainer full. Good start for NC State. Another twisting combination pass here. Back 1.5 twist to a beautiful front layout. Excellent shape in that laid out position. You really want to see that body stretched out in that tight arch.
Jordan Kane gets congratulations from John Carney, the assistant there at Cal. Back to the vault now.
Nice big vault. 1.5 twist. Look at the distance from the table.
Michaela Tucker, she's coming after Nia Smith, earned a 9.775.
I mean, we marvel at her height, 5'10". And you don't often see that in gymnastics.
No.
Back in our day, we were like 5 feet tall. So it's really impressive.
There's
and
certain body
exciting to
types
see.
that are also beneficial for other events. Typically, a taller gymnast has a beautiful line and swing on bars, but the ones who excel on the leg events are typically smaller and more compact, aren't they?
Oh no, had to do the toe circle again. She lost her balance and went backwards. You don't often see that mistake, but it can happen. Double out and a hop. Oh, that's too bad.
Macy Jennings now. Meg Adler led off NC State with a 9.725.
Required full turn. This will set up her acrobatic series, which is a triple series. You get extra bonus for connecting these 3 elements. 2 back handsprings to a layout step out, so she travels the entire length of the balance beam.
Leadoff competitor for Cal, 9.875, Jordan Kane, and that brings up Madeline Williams.
Opens with a front layout to a Rudy. Beautiful side aerial on the balance beam. Nice finish on beam. Difficult double wolf turn. Showing off extreme flexibility, nice posture. Full extension on the leaps. Head coach Liz Crandall does all of the choreography as well. Front fold to front layout. Loves that aspect of her coaching. The creation of these routines for them to pour their hearts, souls, and talent into.
Gabby Stephen now on vault, Michigan State.
That's a biggie, and unfortunately a big step out of it. They'll take a big deduction for that, but it was still fun to see her fly through the air.
Our next gymnastics meet right here on ACCN and the ESPN app is next Sunday afternoon when Pittsburgh squares off against Clemson at Little John Coliseum. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern. Riley Quinto after Alvarado had a 9.65 for BYU. Krista Zilkovic on beam for NC State at the same time.
Nice work on the bars. Good last handstand. See if she can get the landing here. Double layout. Oh, step forward. Krista setting up for her acro series. Back handspring, layout, step out. Nice and floaty, a little balance check at the end. Funny story, during the warm-ups, I happened to be down on the floor and they were trying to go to the next event, and she's always the last one ready and always the last in line, so they call her the caboose. So I waited because I didn't want to fall in line. I was like, I gotta wait for the caboose. So I followed them off the floor.
The coaches say she completely embraces the grind and she's never been fazed by hard work. Ella Cesario for California on floor. Maddie Williams before her 9.85.
Dismount on beam. Oh, just a little short of rotation, had to take a little step back.
Last year, Cal finished just out of the finals at the NCAA championship. This is the 50th year of their program as Olivia Zarwani for Michigan State takes to the ball.
Big 1.5 here.
Oh my.
Under-rotated.
It looks like they just haven't done a lot of landings on hard surfaces.
No.
Help the audience understand how you protect those ankles throughout the year.
Well, oftentimes they'll train into a pit, onto a mat, but that's a softer landing. So physically it's easier on your body, but it's also hard mentally to then transfer it to a hard floor because you know what's coming, and it's hard.
It's gonna hurt. I think that collegiate gymnasts have mastered the idea of pacing because they have to compete every week. A lot of times the elite international competitors, they compete like 4 or 5 times a year. These young ladies are competing, 15, 16 times in a 4-month period.
The coaches learn more and more every year how to manage the bodies and the mental health of all of these athletes because it's hard to get up and perform every week. You're going to love this routine.
Alex Ortega.
She has a really cool combination, a difficult one you don't often see in college gymnastics. And the skill is called an anodi. She does it in combination, making it all the more difficult. Beautiful handstand on bars. Here's that combination. She fell last week on it. I love it. Everybody loves it. Oh, she saved it. Anytime you have to twist a skill in flight and reach for the beam with your hands, very difficult. Okay. High double layout dismount, step on the landing.
Lindsay Hunter Kempler, a little bobble as she transitioned to that low bar. NC State, highest score from the 3 competitors so far is Jennings, 9.75.
Switch leap into the gainer pike off. So an improvement from last week. She'll be happy with that, but it's still not quite the perfection that she wants.
Ryan Mayhew. Cesario had a 9.85, so all the scores for Cal so far, 9.85 or better.
Coaches are so excited about this young freshman, packed full of talent, and she just rocked that first event and unfortunately got a little ahead of herself.
Yes.
So the timing was off. It's so tempting sometimes to rush.
She had a huge 9.95 in the first rotation on vault. Sage Kellerman will go on vault for Michigan State next.
She scored at 10, the first 10 of the NCAA season last week. She drilled this in warm-ups from pike half.
Oh, that's nice.
Almost got that stick.
That is nice. Power and technique combined. You see how low she comes onto that table? I mean, it just launches her technically into the air. It's unreal, the trajectory it creates. Boom.
You're right, and see that tight arch position when she makes contact with the table? That dynamic shape really helps her with that, facilitate the block.
It's a tough ball to keep clean form on, especially in that pre-flight. Nicely done. Emily Shepard now. 9.65 was the score for Ortega. So NC State has yet to break into the 9.8 yet on beam.
Emily is beautiful on this event. Look at that beautiful full turn with the leg up high, parallel to the beam.
Alvarado, BYU on bars.
Bar specialist, their #1 bar returner, pack salto down to the low. Boy, did you see that jump on beam, the amplitude, the extension, phenomenal. Dismount on bars. Big dismount, full twist and double layout.
Oh, that's the hardest dismount being done in college gymnastics. Oh my goodness, one of the hardest dismounts in the world.
So nice seeing beam and bars side by side to show you just how diverse this sport is, the many facets, the skills you must master. Every event so different, so unique. Dismount, side aerial to a 1.5 twist, really difficult.
Maya Lozan coming after Kyan Mayhew, stumbled to get to a 9.25. A 9.75 or better from Maya will clinch the win for California today. They have been in firm control since the first routine.
Difficult pass, an E-skill front double full into a punch front. Look at the amplitude, the height. And then
technique,
immediate elegance right out of it.
Nikki Smith, final vaulter for Michigan State.
1.5. That's a big one and a beautiful one. Oh, a little adjustment of the feet.
Sage Kellerman before her got an impressive 9.925.
Gorgeous leap position. Look at the details, the footwork. The toes point right off the floor. She pushes down through the floor. This is an all-arounder to keep an eye on. Her coach even told me she thinks she could win the all-around, and there are some great all-arounders competing in college now.
You know, I think she's right.
Look at the beautiful shapes she creates in this routine. Beautiful back.
Most all-arounders have one or two events where they're superb and the others are just really good. She's just fabulous everywhere. Maya Lozan. Chloe Negrete shows similar technique and execution as well. She's the anchor competitor for NC State on beam after Emily Shepard got their first 9.8.
Her acro series is right here. Front aerial keeps those arms moving fluidly into the back handspring.
Anna Bramlett coming after Vanessa Alvarado, got the high score over there for BYU on bars with that spectacular dismount.
Anna does a same bar release, very difficult. Right here, it's called a ray. After the toe on, she flies backwards over the bar to the regrasp. Good work on the bars, beautiful double layout. I love the stretch position. Very confident, solid routine to finish off for NC State.
While all that's going on, the score came in for Maya Lozan on floor. It was a 9.975. Cal is looking for a spectacular score here in just the second weekend of the season. And you're right, Kathy, she is a gymnast to watch out for. One of the contenders, surely, for the all-around title at the national championship. And here's a great way to end this meet. MJ Frazier on floor for California. They've already won this, but look at her floor average from last year. Sit back and enjoy.
First look at a double layout tonight. Look at the amplitude, gorgeous.
In addition to team competition, we have an all-around battle going on, and a 9.95 here for Frazier would allow her to win the all-around over her teammate Lozan. What a duo.
So impressive from the tumbling to the amplitude and extension on those leaps and the ring position, just gorgeous. Front through to a tuck double back. Excellent control. Wow. And what's so fun is these two final gymnast that we've just seen on floor, so different in style, shows what is so extraordinary about the sport of gymnastics. They're equally entertaining. Difference in style. Look at the power in that double layout.
Wow, and that front foot stayed glued to the mat for no deduction on that landing. What a great night for the California Bears with two big routines from two superb all-arounders. Liz Crandall's happy with it. All right, when we come back, we'll give you the final results of this competition, but Cal will run away with this one. Scores in for Frazier, it's a 9.95.
To a place where people think differently and live more creatively. A place that'll take your spirit in a whole new direction. Somewhere west of ordinary, west of expected, west of predictable. Salt Lake, west of conventional.
The most passion, the most intensity. This is the way basketball's supposed to be.
Taking the tours, I'm wrecking the land. I keep it hardcore cause it's dope, man.
What better way to get the juices flowing and to get your adrenaline going? That's it, Jerome!
I keep it hardcore like you never saw your wannabe. You wanna be.
Pitt squares off against BC at noon Eastern. Then number 15 Louisville hosts Wake Forest. And the afternoon is kicked off by Virginia and number 20 North Carolina in Chapel Hill. Women's hoops every Sunday right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. There is our final score in session 3 of the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. An outstanding day for the California Bears, led by this dynamic duo of all-arounders, including Maya Lozon and MJ Frazier.
I have had a smile on my face throughout this competition. Just extraordinary performances with great technique, precision, polished form. Look at the height on that gorgeous double twist. That was perfection right there. Such complete performances, and the difference in style, so enjoyable. A big double twist, very difficult vault. Power on the uneven bars, finds the landing. And as you mentioned, Bart, just all of the different things they have to master, the different qualities these great all-around gymnasts have to possess. And MJ Frazier.
And how about this? A 39.775. MJ Frazier wins the all-around by 25 thousandths of a point over her teammate Maya Lozon, and Maddie Williams takes third. 1, 2, 3 for Cal. We have 1 and 2 right there. Frazier and Lozon. Taylor?
A wealth of riches for this Cal team, Bart. MJ and Maya both with me. MJ, I don't know if you know this, you broke your own record for an all-around score here tonight. Walk me through the success you were able to put on the floor tonight.
I honestly, my biggest goal is to literally just do what I've been doing in the gym and to try to translate that into the competition. And like, last week was our first meet and like, you know, just get the jitters out. But this week I really want to just come out here and be confident and just kind of just give it all I got and only worry about myself and try to beat myself, which I guess happened.
Mission accomplished. You did that. You guys started out with a school record on vault as well. Maya, talk to me a little bit just about how this team is excelling so early in season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last season we had such an amazing season. I mean, we broke so many accolades last season, broke so many records. So coming into this preseason, this season, we were thinking, you know what? We're a talented team. We're going to work hard in the gym, and then we're going to translate all of that into competition. And it's only our second meet, and this shows to prove that we're a great team.
Sky is the limit for the two of you and this Cal team. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Cal is a small team in numbers, but incredible deep in talent. Cal gets the win tonight. We'll be back to wrap this one up from Utah in a moment. Oh, I love that super slow-mo camera. It just emphasizes what remarkable athletes we got to see tonight. Here is the Sprouts ACCN gymnastics schedule, and we have a full slate of competition, including the conference championship on March 23rd. What a great weekend for gymnastics for the first time on the ACC network. Kathy, your thoughts on what we just saw? Cal was outstanding.
Well, if they didn't throw them the gauntlet and put everyone in the nation on notice, they are a team to watch. Michigan State showed moments of brilliance. You can still see how great they're going to be. BYU almost 49 on all 4 events, and congratulations to NC State, their debut on the ACC network.
A great weekend here in Utah. We're glad you have joined us in this third session. Cal wins over Michigan State, BYU, and NC State. Coming up next, Kelsey Riggs and the Nothing But Net crew. Great weekend of gymnastics here at the Sprouts Farmers Market. Collegiate Quad, thanks for watching. For Kathy Johnson-Clark and Taylor Davis, I'm Bar Connor. So long from West Valley City, Utah.